The animal?
Yes. It was a radio. It was exclusively sold on Radio Shack.
I don't know if it was, but it should have been. It would have put him on the. It would have saved Radio Shack. Home of the animal.
It was.
Yeah.
The teeth came out of the wheel.
There were claws.
Right. It wasn't like actual fangs.
No. They were like hook, like talons.
Yes.
Like talons.
Man.
Where does the animal go? When he needs a capacitor.
And they called it the animal.
I don't know. They could have. I don't have my phone. There's no fact checking.
It was some sort of animal situation. So do you care if I keep recording? We make that part of the show?
No, go ahead.
Okay?
You going to make this part of the show?
Yeah, why not?
You going to make this part of the show?
Maybe right just then I'll cut.
Okay.
Because I just got finished telling you how I don't cut any of the show.
Yeah. Okay, no, go ahead. You do. Don't you play music?
We do. I do that after.
Oh, like in post?
So I have like an Audacity template, and I just drop the audio.
Oh, I feel like on our show last time it played like live.
We did.
Tape. Okay.
Stupid move. Didn't need to do it.
Okay.
Totally didn't need to do it.
All right. I like that it's the two of us. All right, set it up, man.
I'm setting it up.
Okay.
High-tech, lowbrow, it's the 404. High-tech, lowbrow, and what's more, it's the 404.
Welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. On this Friday, March 20th, 2015, I'm joined by the one and only, and I mean that because you're one of a kind, Mr. Vinny Caravella.
Oh, thanks, man. You should introduce the other guests first.
Well, no, I can't do that because it's just you and me today, buddy. And that's the reality of it all.
What is?
That it's springtime in New York and it's snowing.
Okay.
And no one else wanted to come into the office.
Oh,
interesting.
You and me. It's true. You look around this office, there's nobody here.
It's a ghost town.
It's just you and me.
It's crazy.
And like the 75 other people sitting around. But in my mind, I just see you. It's regardless of the snow.
Thanks for joining me.
Hey, my
today.
pleasure. Thanks for having me.
It's my pleasure that it's your pleasure.
That's fantastic.
So sounds like we're just pleasuring each other, but look,
no, it's springtime in New York,
right? And I can't. This weather's crazy. The rest of the country's like freaking out about it. Have you seen that?
No.
Yeah. So like because it's snowing here in spring.
Yeah.
Everyone else is like something wacky's happening.
Oh, we're like the groundhog.
We're the news story. Yeah.
Weird. So they're like New York.
They're saying like
let's see what happens with this New York.
Yeah, because we kind of dictate the rest of.
Sure, yeah. As New York goes, so goes the rest of the country.
It's for sure.
Yeah.
Well, we're first in the time zones.
Yeah, that makes sense. I remember. Yeah, sure. Yeah, yeah, that checks out. That's science.
That checks out.
Yeah,
you can read a book about that.
So here first, and before it comes out anywhere else, apparently.
Right. We get Saturday Night Live before anyone else.
It's true, and and the Daily Show. So. Look at those things.
Look, I'm not making it up. No. It's just science. Go read a book for once in your life.
Yeah, I was kind of bummed that it was snowing, but what are you going to do?
What are you going to do? That's how it works. I'm glad you're here today.
Me too. I've heard this. I hear this show every week from our sister studio next door.
So for people who are wondering what the hell we're talking about, Giant Bomb's TV studio is in the adjacent room.
It's generous to call it a TV studio, but I appreciate it.
Well, okay, their closet is.
Yeah, we turned the cameras out of the closet. Yeah.
It's in the room next door.
Yeah,
and the sound just permeates like water through a screen. It's insane.
Yeah, it's like there's like a piece of cellophane that divides the rooms. So here, let me do an impression. So this is what it sounds like. If I were talking in this room, it sounds like this. Hey, I'm Jeff, and I'm doing the 404. Welcome to the show. It's the most popular show on the internet. Hey, everybody, here are my guests, all these cool people. And then this is what it sounds like in my room. Hey, I'm Jeff. I'm doing the 404. Actually, I'm sorry. Hey, I'm Jeff. I'm doing the 404.
It's like 1 decibel lower.
Yeah, it's crazy. So people who are on Giant Bomb and have heard some of maybe the recordings we've done, what you hear in the background are people recording in this room. Very nice people.
Sure.
People I would like to hang out with.
Totally.
And and it just comes right through.
The feeling's mutual, but it's almost as if you're like, well, maybe we just shouldn't have our shows overlap in that capacity.
Yeah, but we don't talk to each other.
It's experimental podcasting and broadcasting for sure.
We're pretty much Radio Lab.
We're cutting edge.
Yeah.
We're the goddamn cutting edge.
And the worst is sometimes people come in here and do phone interviews, or sometimes you're just like talking to their boss, being like, God, I freaking hate this person.
Yeah.
And I'm just sitting there.
I do that a lot.
A cup of coffee, just sitting back listening and be like, yeah, he's right. That's really messed up.
And you've got all the gossip.
I've got it all. Oh, yeah, totally. But I miss key words because it gets a little muffled sometimes.
Right.
I pretty much get it.
That's why you never get anything done, because you kind of stop what you're doing, put your ear to the wall, and you're like, ooh, it's getting good.
Yeah, with a glass. Very cliche. And Alex walks in and I go, oh, Alex.
Nothing going on in here.
So what do you normally you talk about stuff that's not as dumb as this?
No,
from what I've heard.
No, that is untrue.
Okay.
I mean, you've done the show before. You know what it's about.
That Christmas time one.
That's right.
I just thought you were drunk.
We were drunk. Correction, we were drunk. No, we talk about the week's ongoings in tech and pop culture stuff.
Brother, let me tell you, what a week.
It's been a week.
There should be more than 2 people here.
Unfortunately, that's not going to happen.
No, that's okay. No, I like it. It's intimate.
See, I think the two of us can do it.
Let's do it.
I think we are doing it.
Well, if you've got stuff written down, I could totally say, yeah.
You could totally do color commentary to that.
Boy, that's silly. What else you got?
So I'm legitimately curious what you think about the Nintendo thing.
Okay.
Because that's a huge story. Right, yeah, that's a huge story this week. The Nintendo NX is their basically their new platform. It's vague.
Yeah.
It's very vague.
I came in and I saw this, and then I immediately ran over to your desk and said,
"You're like, did you hear?"
I'm like, Jeff, what's going on? What is this? Like, you guys actually, because Overhead Giant Bomb, we never. What does Gershman say? You heard it here fourth, right? So it's like
right.
Came over and said, "What's the story? What's going on? News guys."
And then what did I say to you? I'm like, what are you talking about?
Yeah,
this is what I said.
Here, look it up. And then we went to GameSpot, who actually had the story.
Right, and they had the story. And during one of those streaming events that they do so often, they talked about this new platform called Nintendo NX.
Right, and by platform, we're assuming like some kind of physical console.
Right. I mean, that's the logical sort of assumption to make. But now, so shelve that announcement for a second.
Okay.
Then they said, oh, and we're also going to start introducing Nintendo games into the mobile space.
Yeah, so I'm going with DNA.
Right. So
right?
DENA is the name of this company.
Not Dena.
Not Dena.
Not DENA.
Not like Dena.
Yeah. DNA.
Right.
Okay, let's go with
and they're working, they're an established company in the mobile space.
I thought in the States or mostly in Japan?
I think it's Japan.
Okay, that's what I think too.
I think that's where they're sort of coming from.
We're very good at this. We do a lot of research.
Well, we shouldn't have to know that. Are you a Japanese correspondent?
As far as you know, yeah.
I guess so.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
Ohio. Is
that all your Japanese? Get it all out.
You want all of it?
Yeah. How many times have you been there? Oh, that's cool. It's more than one.
Yeah. 4?
What?
3.
I've never been.
Really?
Yeah.
You never went to TGS?
No.
I've only been there for TGS.
Right.
So I don't think I'm like, hey, look at this guy. Look at this weird Italian guy who goes to Japan all the time.
But still, that's way more than I've been. There's like a gaping travel hole in my heart for that place. I know. It's pretty gnarly.
Yeah, you should go. It's actually really fun. You should go there before it like swallows itself.
In what, like a...
Not culturally, that place is awesome. But it's one of the, when I go there, it's such a mix of cultures. Like there's the the cutesy stuff mixed with like the really serious business stuff.
So you have like the otaku people.
And but they have like but you have the salary man right on the train with like the charms hanging off like the Hello Kitty
salary man.
Yeah, like the guy with the briefcase who's like eating lunch out of a.
What are you buying?
Yeah, that guy? Yeah, no, not the guy from Ninja Gaiden.
No, that was the Resident Evil 4 dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. What are you selling?
That's true. Yeah. What are you buying? Like nothing, because my inventory is full. Because this game has the worst inventory system.
Right, I can't fit this piece in here anymore.
Sorry, this grenade launcher's got to go. Yes, the salary man, but not that guy. He's just a guy who goes to work every day.
Yeah, sure.
He's on a salary.
Just business guy.
The business guy. Okay,
Yeah.
business guy. But he's got like a...
For the record, I've never heard anyone describe any businessman as salaryman.
Do you have a computer in front of you?
Yeah, right here.
Just type it in.
Salaryman.
Yeah.
It's not like a villain in Mega Man. It's just like,
Yes, salaryman is
just throws money at
Yep, and once you get his power, then you can defeat, I don't know, Startup Man.
see, salaryman.
Yeah.
But in the Wikipedia definition,
Yeah.
it's got the Japanese letters next to it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it's like Japanese, right?
Oh no. Okay, so maybe that's my misinterpretation of it.
Okay.
So
What are
it's-
you thinking?
So no. So I'm thinking you said English, salary man. Okay.
Okay.
Right? And you're saying this is a Japanese term, which I'm just finding out through Wikipedia that
You're
it
saying I
is.
should have said it in Japanese?
No, because in Japanese, I don't even want to say
Go
it
for it.
because it's so
Yeah.
screwed up. So you know the thing, right? I'm gonna sound racist, is what I'm gonna say.
We'll get somebody to dub it in later.
But they have like a the what do you call it?
Letters.
No,
Kanji.
they have kanji, but they have like the phonetic.
Oh, sure, yeah.
But it's salary man. That's what it says right here, dude. I'm not making up. It's
I'm not associating myself with this podcast.
SARARI man.
Weird how you talk to yourself in here. I just came in. What's going on, Jeff?
I'm sorry.
Okay.
That's what it is. It's a refers.
So let me just kind of walk this back a second.
Can you dig me out of this
Yeah,
hole?
let me walk this back a second. So sometimes in Japan, they I have heard them referred to as salary men. But I can see how it can be confusing if you're to look up the goddamn Japanese and it's the same word.
Oh, that's not bad. How did we start talking about
I don't
that?
know. Japan's awesome.
Yeah.
You should totally go.
I want to.
Yeah, and apparently the English to Japanese translation not as hard as you might think.
It just rolls right off the tongue.
It's right there. So yeah. Anyway, I just saw all these guys are like in suits that are super serious and dour on trains, but they have like these like super cutesy like Hello Kitty charms like hanging off their phone, and it's just a weird crossing cultural place for them. I think, at least at the time.
It's an interesting.
This is 1970. It was a weird time for everybody.
When was the last time you were there? Were you there TGS last year?
No, we haven't gone back in a while. I was with GameSpot. No, then we went with Giant Pot. Like 2009.
Okay, so it's been a while.
It's been a while. Yeah, I'm sure things have changed.
It's an important show. It's become an important show. It's actually become a show where they announce a lot of stuff that even we cover. I mean, we just
That's
do
weird 'cause I would
sort
say
of like
the
surface
opposite.
level stuff. Yeah,
for game stuff.
maybe hardware for us because they kind of
Maybe.
did like Vita stuff. I remember for a little bit.
I think they did if I remember correctly, and I have a terrible memory. Maybe the Vita TV thing,
right, which was big for us.
which came out there first. But most of the stuff,
Which is now PSTV, I think it's called here.
is that what it is?
Yeah.
Okay. Most of the stuff is just all announced universally, globally. At this
Right.
point. And the games all come out globally. So years ago, I felt you had a division of markets, right? You had, this is getting released in Japan, then eventually it'll get ported over to the United States.
Sure.
Translated poorly, and it'll come over here. Now everything just gets released universally. The market is so global that it makes no financial sense for them to release in territories like that, especially Japan.
Right.
So the TGS, you see announcements that are either highly specific to Japan, but you don't get like the super weird, or at least I felt like you didn't get the really weird stuff you used to get.
Right.
You know, you're not getting super crazy localized, like, Japanese games are weird and crazy. Now it's all like, I don't know, go on Steam and you'll see all the weird, crazy indie games.
Yeah, everything's been completely democratized, and it's just
across the nation, and it makes financial sense. I mean, you don't want to release on one territory,
right.
So.
I remember last year, wasn't TGS last year the PT game? Didn't that come out of there?
But didn't the demo just go live?
Yeah, like they just announced it, and the demo went live.
Like,
and they used GDC
globally.
as like the
What,
not GDC,
TGS?
TGS is like the crutch for that.
Right.
I think.
I'm not sure. I could be wrong also, but I do remember that demo just being like, "Hey, this is out now.
Right.
Check it out." Oh, that could have just been also. I don't remember if that was just their Sony event.
Right. Yes, it was
So,
their Sony
yeah.
event. Yeah,
So I think-
which is a separate thing altogether.
Which is a separate thing altogether, and Microsoft did it too. Like,
Yeah.
hey, let's check in. What's Microsoft up to? And like, that's weird. It's that you didn't used to get that, and now with the Nintendo Directs, you have Microsoft doing their thing, Sony's holding their own events. like do these trade shows become interesting propositions for media?
Yeah, it's weird, and we'll get back to Nintendo NX, but every year I go to E3, I'm just like more and more underwhelmed, I guess, and it's just to the point where I'm basically going there for a 90-minute press conference, which I could stream in perfect HD in my house.
So we would attend those every year, and we actually last year we started doing like Mystery Science Theater, just watching them and talking over them,
right?
And having the clean feed underneath too. So on the page you could watch us just be idiots and mouth over it, or you can watch the clean feed because some people are like, "Shut up!"
Yeah,
like,
I want to hear what's going on here. I want to see when Rock Band 7's coming.
Totally, but then they're like, "Oh, that's when." Let's go back to listen to some doofuses get everything wrong.
For you, what do you prefer personally? How would you like
in attendance or watching it streamed?
Yeah,
there's a cool vibe when you're in the audience.
Totally. There's a cool vibe and no internet when you're in the audience.
There's a cool vibe, no internet, and for 90% of my time that I've been to a bunch now. I've been in like the bleachers with the camera crews,
right? The riders. And
stuff. Man,
Razors. What are they called?
Risers. Yeah. So it's like being in the trenches up there. Yeah. It's just knives are out. People just like plugging in cables and like. Doing weird experiments up there. So
anyone got an XLR port or anything?
Yeah, I do. It'd be $200. I claimed them all.
It's shady.
So, everybody's actually super nice, but it gets weird. Sony always had the weirdest ones. Anyway, the experience up there is very different. I sat in last year's audience for the Sony press conference, and that was a cool one to sit in when they announced. I think it was last year. No, it was the year before, where they announced the price and everything.
Right. And that was a big one.
That was an awesome one to be sitting in because the audience there was just on fire.
Yeah, but a part of me hates that.
For a press event, it's completely weird.
It's inappropriate.
You're obviously not press because you're just like
yeah. Yeah, like someone's waiting. Someone took your spot in that line at GameStop.
Totally. Well, I don't know if that's true. I mean, people should get excited about games. Games are awesome. Sure,
but that setting is not what it's designed for.
It's not really. I mean, for a show that's supposed to be a trade show and kind of like, essentially like a B2B show, which is not.
So I remember coming back, and this was 2 E3s ago. It was the 2013 one where Sony was having that killer E3 where
Microsoft gave out the Xboxes to everyone?
No. Or was
that one before?
Yeah, that was one before.
Okay.
This was when that was a while ago. That was the 360S. Remember that? That was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Okay, they're all confused in my head. No, wait, 2000, you're saying 2013?
13.
Okay.
That's when
wait, that is the one where Sony announced the price and everything.
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
We're talking about the same one.
Yeah, okay.
So I wasn't sitting. I usually get to sit like down with the bloggers where they have like and that's the best.
Like on the floor.
Yeah, that's the best seat in the house for doing your job.
Yeah.
And I remember we got like pushed back and only one of our guys got down there. And I was sitting in a place where I literally couldn't hear what they were saying because the kids behind me were losing
screaming.
Their shit so hard.
Yeah.
I was just like, this can't be good.
E3 is a tough place to work in general.
Yeah, oh my God.
But like, I will say, as somebody who didn't have to like live blog or report back, the like electricity at that Sony one.
Oh, the buzz is
it was really, and it was cool. Like it was like fun. It was weird when people just stand up and like explode, like just be like, here's Jack Trenton comes out, rolls up his sleeves, and like
they had to do nothing. They just like steamroll.
And let me say this, and though the funniest part was like he was just banging them out, right?
Yeah.
Jack Trenton's just shooting them down, like pull, boom, and price, boom, this that, and boom, and everybody's like somebody's head exploded next to me, and it's like people are freaking out, and then at the end he kind of slips in like. And on multiplayer, it'll be paid. And everybody's like, yeah.
Wait, what did he say?
Yeah, I don't care. Whatever. And now bring out the corpse of Master Chief and hit him with a stick. So like, so that was a really fun one. And I remember I was sitting next to Jeff Gerstmann at the time, just like looking at him as people were literally standing up and applauding.
Yeah, it felt like State of the Union.
Kind of, but we were in the like the president's parties section, not in like the opposing section over there where people just sit stone faced.
Right, they applaud everything.
Yeah, very good.
Very nice golf claps all around.
Okay. But these guys, it was fun. Anyway, we're talking about press conferences. Roll back to the Nintendo.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. Are they cutting short the Wii U?
Well, I think you can't. There's no way to spin this and have it come out that they're not admitting some defeat with Wii U, and that's how I see it.
How about this? Ready?
Yeah. Spin it.
Yeah,
do your best.
ready? I'm thinking.
The wheels are turning.
Yeah. Hold on. I'll do my best salary man.
Yeah. Let me hear your best. Let me hear that salary man spin.
So with the success of the Wii U, we noticed that there was.
So you're already wrong.
What are you telling me?
Wii U's not a success.
Please don't interrupt.
That's not spin. That's lying.
That's not lying.
Okay, fine. Success.
Define success.
Profitable.
With the success of the Wii U, one of the best-selling Nintendo consoles ever produced.
One of the selling consoles.
One of the best-selling.
Sure.
It's better than the Virtual Boy.
Right.
One of the best-selling consoles. We noticed that there was just a demand to keep moving innovation forward, and we want to augment the experience of the Wii U with our next platform, the Nintendo DX.
It's NX.
The Nintendo DS.
And when you say augment,
the Nintendo NX,
dude, to me that the word augment means
that's
like
hot. That's
apologize.
That's like virtual reality.
I'm sorry. Like I said, I don't think there's a way you could spin this where you are not in some way saying, "Hey,
we're gonna pull the plug on this."
Hey, it's already on its last breath. We might as well take it out back and shoot it in the face.
I don't know. Do you admittedly hate Nintendo, right?
No, I admittedly love Nintendo.
That's exactly what somebody who hates Nintendo would say.
I just don't get them. And I feel like they're not, as much as I love the brand and the legacy, I feel like, and I'm sure they would disagree, and they would say, no, we are honoring our legacy fans.
Yeah. Oh, they do, though.
They do, and they keep releasing the same goddamn thing over and over again. And I guess if you want to call that honoring a legacy, sure.
That's okay.
But, I just think they have lost their way a little bit.
When they hit super hard. When they hit, they design some of the best games.
See, and that's true, but even when they don't hit, they do okay, because I love the GameCube. I thought that was a great console.
Why wasn't that a hit?
It just didn't sell as many as,
Sure, but when was the last Nintendo platform that sold like hotcakes?
Besides Wii, the 64.
Well, the Wii is a weird one.
The Wii is the best-selling one ever.
I know, but isn't that a weird one? It's like hardware without software. It's a weird...
It was a $200 Wii Sports machine.
Kinda, yeah.
That just,
and Wii Sports Resort.
And exactly. But, for me, it's like...
Mario Galaxy was awesome.
Those two games are amazing.
Yes.
They really are amazing. I just... and you could throw Zelda in there, too. I just think that they are coming... They're saying, look... They're sitting on a lot of cash, right? That's no
cash rich.
secret.
This is what they say.
They can just do really whatever they want. They could put billions of dollars in R&D and just never even do anything with it.
I mean, I assume this is what the people say, right? That's a scuttlebutt.
So, for me, I always thought they should make a phone. But now that it's like...
Make an actual phone?
Make an actual phone.
That actually makes phone calls?
I guess. It doesn't just work like the pull string Mario character thing.
That'd be pretty awesome.
I mean, it might as well make calls. But now that Android and iOS are just so cemented in the fabric of the mobile universe, it's tough to make the case where this thing isn't an Android phone that's Nintendo branded.
I mean, so is that what you're saying? Like, just kind of make a Nintendo phone that I don't even know what they call Android anymore. Ice cream sandwiches, or
now it's lollipop.
Lollipop.
Come on, get your desserts.
I have no idea. Yeah, right. So Nintendo comes out with a phone that runs Android, banana flambe, whatever, and
right,
it's like
flan.
Right, and then it's like, nah, I don't think that's not their style.
Well, look, but these little tidbits of information
from their little announcement,
they don't necessarily point directly at a phone.
Yeah,
but it seems like this thing
they have a mobile device. It's awesome.
The DS and the 3DS are great, but now that they're saying, okay, we're going to be making games for phones. Because again, there's the NX announcement and there's the announcement that their games are going
and that was the
to mobile devices. Right.
Yeah.
So like you're going to get to play Mario 3 on your Android phone.
Who said that?
I mean, that's what that announcement means.
That's what you're inferring from that.
Of course, but fine. So if you can't play that, you'll be able to play something. You're telling me this announcement means that nothing from the archive is going to wind up on your iPhone?
Did they do a pretty good? They didn't bring that stuff to like their platform from their mobile platforms for years.
Yeah, but they weren't hemorrhaging, like for a while. Also,
I think you're gonna get. I don't know.
How do you think that's gonna shake it? How do
you'll get like Doodle Jump with like Mario
with like Bubble Bobble characters?
No, because that's Taito, isn't it?
That's right. Yeah, they don't own that.
No, you'll get like with you'll get augmented versions. To augment your experience on the NX. No, you'll get. I think you'll get. Hopefully, you'll get games that are designed specifically for mobile platforms because nobody wants to play Mario 3 on a phone with your fingers.
I agree.
That's a terrible experience.
It's awful, but people buy it. People buy Sonic. They buy NBA Jam. They buy all these games that are awful without tactile buttons, and they just do it. Which is why, for me, it's like, all right, well, maybe if there's like a Nintendo branded phone that I don't know. The thing is, you never know now because who in their right mind would have thought this gamepad tablet thing would have worked for Wii U? It didn't work,
right?
But that's but who's to say this won't happen?
Nobody would say that because Nintendo's insane.
Right. And
remember the vitality sensor?
Oh my God.
Where's that?
They could do whatever the hell they want.
They can. I think I was trying to explain to you my Peter Molyneux Nintendo twins analogy.
I wasn't totally on board with it, but I got it.
You weren't on board at all.
So explain it.
No, because it's not really that good. Well, so it's I got to workshop this.
Yeah,
but the movie twins, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Danny DeVito.
Right.
Nintendo and Peter Molyneux separated at birth. Peter Molyneux gets all the crap dumped on him, but he's got great ideas and he's just trying.
But the thing is Danny DeVito's character didn't have the good ideas.
Well, he was kind of.
He was a scamster.
He was kind of a scamster. That's what I'm saying. Like Molyneux was kind of like, oh, it's going to be awesome, and everybody's like, shut up,
People
Molyneux.
trying to kill Danny DeVito in that movie.
Have you seen the internet and Peter Molyneux?
Yeah,
have you seen that interview?
I guess so.
And then everybody's like, "Oh, Arnold Schwarzenegger / Nintendo, you're awesome." Even though you come up with these things that last like a year and make me spend money on a platform, but everything's great. And then they got to get together and then make I don't know what happens if they.
I want to hear. No, Junior. They have to come together and make the movie Junior.
And then I'm out. You want to hear with what? What do you want to hear?
I want to hear what people have to say about that analogy.
They can work it out better than me. They can flesh that out. You have a very smart audience. This is a screenplay waiting to happen. So I think the NX, whatever it is, I hope it's the good Nintendo.
Right. And that's us just being honest, being fans, being people who want to play
I've owned every Nintendo
games.
console. Aside from the Virtual Boy, which like everybody else, their cousin had.
Exactly. Or the Toys R Us just had, and you went there and tried it out.
Tried
and
it.
You were like, Jesus.
I'm like, tennis.
What is this?
Tennis?
Even, what was that, 96?
The year for that? Oh,
94?
I don't remember.
Whatever it was.
You look in that thing, and it's like looking into the Men in Black thing. It just erases that moment from your mind.
Exactly. This was what? I'm looking up real quick. You even at the tender age of 13.
Yeah, you put your head in the Virtual Boy and then
you knew right away. You're like, oh, this isn't gonna work. I was 13. I put my face in that thing. I'm just like, this ain't gonna work.
I don't even see the three. It's like looking at like lines.
Yeah, it was crazy. It was crazy. It looked like some sort of medical device.
Yeah,
when you looked into.
I mean, you can look back and like Nintendo had a lot of weird peripherals. Like, I mean, Rob the Robot was cool, but like, did anybody like really dig how he worked with Gyromite?
Right. No one ever got that to work.
The Zapper was rad.
Yeah, Zapper's great.
Power Glove.
Zapper is a piece of like legendary iconography. It's just like.
But so is the Power Glove, but nobody actually liked using the Power Glove.
Well, the Wizard made the Power Glove important.
It did, but it never worked.
It's so bad.
It's like the thing you like break blocks or whatever.
Yeah, it was absurd. I'm sorry, what were you going to say?
I was going to say the Power Shot, with the bazooka. That thing was awesome.
Yeah, they used that in the Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, that's a shame.
And they used there was a pad that they used in Ghostbusters 2 that was a Mario Brothers, like almost like a fighting stick.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's in That's in Ghostbusters 2. That's how they control the Statue of Liberty.
The Max.
Yeah.
Yeah. And there was a little one. The one was the Max and the Advantage and the Max.
Right.
And then there was the. Do you remember the Mario Paint?
Of course.
Yeah. So like think about Nintendo for a minute.
Sure.
And like they've made you buy some weird stuff.
They've made everyone buy weird stuff.
The expansion pack for the
in the back of the 64?
on this front. It was at the front of the 64. Yeah, that thing, and like they're kind of a weird company.
They are. I mean, they've been around for over 100 years. It's not. This isn't their first rodeo.
Yeah, they were back. When I remember in 1915 when it was like, what should we get? And they're like, oh, you're gonna need this expansion pack
for this deck of cards.
This booster pack.
All right.
So you think it's gonna be some kind of mobile based platform?
I think it's either gonna I think it might. Okay, picture this, right?
Ready.
If it's not a phone, it'll be some kind of at-home / mobile device. Okay, so it's not a phone.
Okay.
But maybe it's a tablet that connects to your TV and you can bring anywhere.
So it's like the Wii U gamepad.
So it's like just the gamepad, but that gamepad has access to like downloadable subscription games and
stored like on some SD card or something.
or whatever the hell.
Okay.
So that like if it's not a phone,
why isn't it like a 2DS or 3DS that just connects to the TV?
Because it's way more powerful.
Okay.
And it might not have to be because it'll be streaming games.
Okay. Oh, streaming the games, not just downloading them.
Yeah.
You think they can pull that off?
No.
Okay.
I mean,
their online stuff has always been.
Their online stuff is janky to say the least, and they tried that Nintendo TV thing was an abomination. Yeah. God, think about how much of that money was lost. Think about all the
deals that were the handshakes that were made, and the lunches.
Oh my God, think about all of the freaking $1 million deals to like import the sports score and like all that TV overlay and Twitter.
That was all. I don't even know that was on Wii U.
Yeah, it's still there.
This is
collecting dust.
Oh really?
Oh yeah. They haven't pulled the plug on Nintendo TV. It's there, dude.
It's there? You can watch TV on it?
You can't watch TV, but you can use it to control your TV and use it as like a complimentary TV experience.
Is everybody vote still around?
I don't know, dude.
Okay, because that's the best thing.
I want to switch gears. We spent a lot on Nintendo.
Yeah, sorry.
No, hey, come on. There's a lot to talk about.
I'm used to podcasts that go 3 hours.
I know. We can't do 3, but we can do at least 1. I want to talk about Internet Explorer's going away.
What's that?
Oh, stop it. You know what Internet Explorer is.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
He's looking at me plain-faced like he's never heard of Internet Explorer. Yeah, it's going away.
Is that like an offshoot of Mozilla? Is that like Opera?
No, it was the first web series.
Oh, the Internet Explorers?
The Internet Explorer.
I remember that, yeah. I remember their intro was like a globe, right? And it turned into an E.
Only 7 frames. That's it. It was super. It was like the first GIF.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's going away. What does that even mean?
So,
where has it been?
How can you go away if you haven't been here for 7 years? So it's funny because I talked about this on CBS the other day, and they're like, "What do you mean it's going away?" I'm like, "Well, the brand is going away."
Sure, it's just going to get integrated into Windows.
Yeah, it's like so. Microsoft isn't getting rid of the browser; they're just getting rid of the brand and that horrific logo.
That logo's been through a lot. Okay,
it's been through a lot, and I'm sure there's a lot of battle scars there.
I'm no fan of the Firefox logo. The
Firefox looks oddly up its own foxtail butt, doesn't it?
Well, it's like eating the world.
Yeah,
I don't
like it's too draconian.
Yeah, something Metal Gear, like I don't know.
It's like a Kojima fascist logo.
Sure, there you go. Yeah. You called it. You heard it here first. Boy, fight the power. Let's go back to Internet Explorer.
But Chrome isn't anything good. That rainbow nipple. I'm not a fan of that.
It's like a Pokeball,
right?
Yeah,
it's like a beach ball.
Yeah,
with a gigantic.
Yeah, it's like your browser just crashed on
areola.
a Mac.
It's weird.
Yeah, you're right.
Right?
Now I can't unsee it. Thanks.
It's over.
That's hot. So Internet Explorer, there's no way they're going to ship any Windows without a default browser.
Right. So basically what's going to happen is they're taking the Internet Explorer guts, and they're sort of taking what they like, bringing it into a thing called Codename Spartan, which they just can't get rid of, like the Halo.
Seriously,
stuff.
like what the hell?
The Cortana's already in their mobile thing. I mean,
it's a good series. Don't get me wrong.
Hey, it's a good franchise.
It's a good franchise.
But it's like, I don't know if it translates over to like standard Windows users, right? Like Exchange is just going to be called like Covenant.
Yeah,
soon,
that's a good idea.
But it's silly.
Outlook is just, hey, I'm going to launch a needle gun. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Right. So that's what's happening. And
so that just means like they're just going to. They didn't roll it into just Explorer where you can just type a URL into the Explorer bar?
They did. I think they did that in XP.
Okay.
Or maybe even before.
So just lose the name and like
losing the name.
But the code's going to be different?
I think the code's going to be a little different. It fundamentally, the way Windows 10 is going to be set up isn't going to have the same relationship as Internet Explorer currently has with like Windows 7 and 8.
Like you just will never launch it?
I don't think it's going to be its own standalone app.
Okay.
But we don't know just yet. But anyway, that's a headline this week.
Oh, goodbye.
It's all about admitting defeat this week. First with an NX.
No.
And then admitting that, guess what? And I'm sorry, Internet Explorer always sucked.
But what'd you use before?
Netscape motherfucker. Yeah.
Good censoring.
You like that?
Yeah, I remember that. That was right between Communicator and...
What was Communicator?
That was Netscape Communicator. You never...
Communicator, was it a browser?
It was the package, because Netscape used to have like Composer.
Right, and it had an HTML editor, and it had a mail program, but Netscape proper was the browser.
So wait, Mozilla's the code base?
Mozilla's not part of this conversation.
What's Mozilla?
Firefox.
But what is it?
Mozilla's the company.
So I thought it was like a branch off of like Netscape.
Maybe there's a connection. Okay. I feel like a dummy if I'm wrong about that.
Well, I have no idea. I could just make stuff up.
I mean, when you search Mozilla Netscape, you get
like what's better.
You get like Wikipedia entries that have like them both. Sort of like mentioned in the same.
We'll do some research off.
So it says shortly before its acquisition by AOL, Netscape released the source code for its browser and created the Mozilla organization.
Boom.
So Netscape is Mozilla. Count it.
So Netscape Communicator had a dope logo. Do you remember that?
Yeah, that was like the N with the nighttime.
It's like a lantern. Yeah. It was like
you see space and stuff.
Maybe I thought it was like a lighthouse.
It was sexy.
It was cool.
Sex appeal.
Yeah, it had sex appeal.
So this is aging us as well. So I remember the first time I used Netscape. Oh man, what did I have to do? So I couldn't.
You used Kermit.
So I had AOL. I don't know what Kermit is.
Oh, okay.
Was that before my time?
WinSock and
no. Oh, maybe that was just like a Telnet sort of thing.
Yes.
So to get internet access, I've always remember telling my parents, I'm like, oh, I want to sign up for AOL, and they were like, no.
Why?
I don't know. I don't think they didn't understand.
You were Prodigy House?
No, we didn't do Prodigy. We did our own ISP.
What?
Yeah, we did the first. So I was the only one who had
called into the university or something.
No, we called up to this company called IOP, called Internet Online Providers in Jersey.
Wow.
So you'd have to go to the. So listen to this.
Tony's house.
I know. It was like some guy like, hey, where's your call going? What? 56K? No problem. I'll connect you to the internet.
Shut up! I'm trying to couple down here. Carol, shut up! Don't pick up the phone. You're good. Your service is good.
And he just made the noise. And he was like, but down. So
yeah, you got 2 minutes left.
We had to go to the store, the video store.
What?
I swear, this is just riddled with like.
Okay, well, all right, you go to the video store.
Go to the video store, and that's where you would physically sign up for IOP. When you signed the contract and you paid your first month's subscription fee, then they gave you a floppy disk with Netscape on it.
And like the instructions.
And then like a little post-it with your login information.
Wow.
Yeah, so you get home, you pop in the thing.
Yeah.
They didn't even have like a custom like installer. It was just like the Netflix exe file.
Sure.
A Netscape exe. And you pop it in, and then I didn't know what to do. I was 11.
Yeah. And you're in charge of this now?
Yeah. My parents. I didn't know what the hell. So I figured out how to connect the phone to the computer.
Sure.
And then I was like, all right.
Surprised you even had a modem in the computer.
I was like, yeah, surprisingly. It's like some Packard Bell from 1994. And I'm like, all right, well, I got a dial tone. I could force it to dial. And then I just sort of figured out. I had to call them up and be like, what am I doing? I'm 11,
And they're like, well, here you go, sir. Does this make sense?
They're like, no problem. I'm 20, so we're all in this together, I guess. And that's how it works.
And so you dial in, and then what would you get to? Like a BBS or something?
Yeah. No, so once you once that connection was established,
you can go anywhere you want.
You go anywhere. It was essentially AOL, but without the AOL facade.
Yeah.
It was, so
that's great.
So then after a while, my dad was, or maybe my mom was like getting hip to AOL, and they're like, let's do AOL. And I'm like, no way. This is the internet. This is like everything AOL isn't.
Yeah.
AOL is a goddamn, sideshow.
Right.
You're just
That's
getting
America
you're
online.
just getting curated, nonsensical Sky Mall internet.
Right.
So what we did was we signed up for AOL and got the bring your own internet package where you could pay $5 a month and have access to AOL.
Why would you want to access the AOL?
Because you wanted buddy lists and stuff.
Oh,
like
okay.
that, yeah.
So wait, this is before you just had Messenger,
right?
And
way before AIM as a separate client.
Yeah,
this was just and I also wanted to go into chat rooms and talk to people.
Yeah,
but I was on IRC.
Sure, you were looking for cyber sex.
Yeah, I was looking for A/S/L.
Right. And then realize I don't know how any of this works. Yeah. I don't know what I'm doing. I just want to play Doom.
It's so funny, but that's how it all used to work.
Sure, you type in a keyword and hope AOL took you to someplace.
Yeah, hope AOL knew what you meant.
I had AOL for a long time. Yeah, I was an American.
My mom
online.
still uses an AOL email address.
Yeah,
yeah.
Did your email address ever turn into your AIM handle?
Maybe
your username.
See, I don't. Yeah, I guess so. So you mean my AOL handle?
Yes.
So my AOL handle is still used on my IGN forums name.
Okay.
It's still my AOL handle.
You don't use it as
you don't
use it as a messenger client anymore?
I do actually. Okay. Yeah. I have so I use Adium on Mac, which is an aggregate IM client.
Why don't you just use messengers?
Because I have my Gmail in it.
You can bring it in.
In yeah.
All
right. Well, I mean that's
you
just what I've been
your
using.
phone. Oh, because you're not an iPhone.
No.
Yeah. So
I have that as well, but that's a separate thing. Yeah.
So I found not too long ago this weird division line of are you an old man? Well, no. Do you have an AOL an AIM account?
Yeah.
Yeah. Why? You're an old man.
You're an old
man.
Yeah.
We use GChat.
It's sad, dude. It's sad.
Yeah.
It's crazy. You're right. That's totally a quantified.
Who would sign up for an AIM account today?
Never.
Why would you?
Never.
You have to have been grandfathered in.
And that's the thing. It's kind of like the death of handles, though.
Well, because
now everything's official.
Address?
It's your Gmail account or your Facebook account. It's you're not unless you just signed up for a third party commenting system.
Sad. That's not sad. It's like GeoCities, right? I equate GeoCities at a time when you wanted to make your own website. Remember that?
Of course.
And it was I'm going to make this website that's going to show the sickest Unreal mods and packs and Doom and WAD files, whatever I got to put up here. Yeah. And maybe I'll split this thing into 700 zip files and have somebody download it. But I was thinking about it because I own a domain that's my family's name. And it's I should make a site for my family. I'm what am I going to do? I'm not going to have them put pictures on it because they all put their pictures on Facebook.
You don't need to do it.
Yeah, it's not going to be a blog or something because why would I use Tumblr or something else like that? What am I going to do? Why would I make a website?
Exactly. And
let's have a business.
For sure. And I remember when, I would, IOP, that company, they gave you 100 megs of space.
What?
Yeah, they're hey, make a website. You have
Is
space.
It somewhere? Did you have a domain name?
I have it all downloaded.
Can you tell me what the domain name is?
No, well, now I have my domain name, which
but at the time, how would you get to...
Oh, man, I think it was IOP.com/tilde.
Yeah. Oh, then your username?
Bunch of letters and numbers was or whatever.
Thrills for kills or something?
No, my handle, I won't give out my AOL handle because one time I shot a CNET video and
it was on there?
Because it's my Xbox handle.
Oh.
And people just wouldn't.
What, you're too good?
It's not has nothing to do with that.
You don't participate with the public?
There's too much riffraff out there. You know what I mean? It's worse enough Twitter's a thing. Okay?
I don't need people harassing me during Call of Duty.
It's totally true, man. I have no regrets with that stuff, but I'm just not going to add fuel to that fire. So there you have it. That was Internet
Explorer. Goodbye.
See you later. Nice knowing you. I have no regrets.
What's your browser of choice?
I swap back and forth between Firefox and Chrome.
Why do you use Firefox?
So Firefox, I use. So a lot of our CNET backend stuff works better on Firefox. Okay. And I also keep my two. Even though CBS Interactive is based on Gmail, I keep them in separate browsers.
Sure.
So I have my personal Gmail on one browser and then the work email on another browser. So you can have them signed up in the same browser, but every now and then they'll mid-air collision. And,
and you open a calendar and
you're like, what is this?
Yeah. What does the Windows Phone use for browsing the internet?
It's probably called Internet Explorer or
Okay.
something, but that's about to change. I don't really know. I've have very little experience with Windows phones. All right.
Yeah, keep it moving.
Yeah, let's keep it going. This is great.
I don't want to hold you up.
I played the first chapter of Mortal Kombat X
Nice. Did you wait recently?
2 days ago.
Yeah. Did you see Alex there?
No, did not see Alex
Oh,
there.
I think he
it
might
was
have gone.
Tuesday, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, maybe he went.
What
to a
did he
different
think of
session.
it?
He said, I don't know. I don't know what the embargoes are.
I don't think it's embargoed.
Okay.
So I mean, what I'm not.
It was
thinking a lot
positive.
of it. So I was mostly happy with it too. The story is like, it's funny. The story that they're telling in this game,
Yeah.
it's always so freaking over.
So
the
this
top
is
and
nothing's embargoed here.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I'm not gonna
This
like.
is great. We're professional journalists.
I didn't
here.
sign. How about this? I didn't sign
Yeah.
anything. I didn't
Okay.
sign anything.
Okay. I think the story is known.
The story's known, and it's also known that as not under embargo that Jade is actually dead. Like for sure,
That's canon.
that's canon. Like
It's,
dead.
it's canon as canon is.
Yeah, dead.
What is dead?
Not just
Not a
like
sideboard,
fatality
not
dead. Not it's like dead, like not going to be in
Like
the
not
game.
fatality
But of
dead.
course, she'll freaking wind up at the end. I'm sure. So there's like weird QuickTime events in it.
Oh, I didn't know about
in
this.
the cinematics.
I've tried to keep as much as you can when you're kind of engrossed in this stuff.
Yeah.
Or the whole thing. I've tried to keep a blind eye towards a lot of the. I saw the couple of pieces of footage and was like, this looks kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean the fighting's great. But for me, like you just that's a total honeymoon game
What does that mean?
where like the first month is amazing.
Oh. Well, are you into fighting games?
I only really like Super Smash. I'm just not a huge Super Smash guy.
No, I said, are you into fighting games?
Oh,
Boom.
what are
I
you
don't know,
trying to say
I had
there?
to just, it was such a like softball.
Mortal Kombat for me is like the only game I'll give two shits about. Where
Yeah?
I'll like get practice and try and get.
And
good
even
at
like
it.
throughout the series, like you've
yeah, I played every game.
So like I know back in the San Francisco office, it's always a bone of contention.
Yeah.
Is the run button or no run button?
I don't like the run button.
Okay, so that's 2 versus 3.
Yeah,
Okay.
3 had it.
Yeah.
Although 3 Ultimate is probably my favorite.
Okay.
But overall, I would prefer not to have the run button.
You just like 3 like the characters.
I just like so many. Like Cabal's my favorite. I
Okay.
love him, and I just thought that was just the perfect.
So you will spend time like playing people online. And
Oh
stuff?
yeah. Well, see, online for me is not that much fun because I just think it's not perfect enough. Where there's
wow.
just a little bit of a lag, and I'm just this is not
gotcha.
awesome.
Oh, so gotcha.
For
Not
me, it's a
necessarily
couch.
the
It's a
gameplay
couch.
of it.
Yeah, it's a couch game.
Okay.
For multiplayer for me.
Well, the story stuff in the last one I thought was awesome.
Yeah, and they continue that awesomeness, save for cutscenes are like really long. And
You don't like that?
It's just like, and it's
You don't
just-
want the
it's
rich
just so-
tapestry?
right. Like to me, it has the cheese of those movies they made,
Okay.
which is good.
Yeah.
But after a while, you're like, oh my god, can I just play this stupid game?
Well, just wait for the camera to swing around.
I
Then
know,
you'll
but then
fight
and then there's like one button QuickTime events that are just so
in the middle of the narrative.
yeah, and I'm just like, what is?
I'm sure you
happening?
could skip it if you want.
I guess
Up to like probably the quick time.
And they're like pitching the game, and they're saying like, "Oh, there's one button QuickTime events," and I'm just like, "There's just 2001. Like, why?
like, what is that?
What do you mean?
What is it? One button?
Like you'll be watching, and like Scorpion will like take his.
what if you miss it?
nothing? There's like zero penalty. Like
Wait.
I missed a QuickTime event,
Yeah.
and Sub-Zero and Scorpion just kicked the shit out of my character.
Oh.
because first chapter's Johnny Cage, and you're just like, oh, and nothing happened.
So they get like first.
Maybe if I lost like 3 of them in a row, I'd have to restart the whole QuickTime thing.
so
yeah.
do you think you would like, just start the match with less health or something?
I don't know. Maybe that's
Okay.
a good idea. Maybe.
Let's write that in and get Ed on the phone.
I mean, you might
Ed,
as
I got
well.
a great idea. What if?
Hey, old Booney.
What's
wanna-
up? So it's the generations this time, right?
Yeah, so it's like old versus new.
Yeah.
And what?
I think the last game was MK9, right?
It was just Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
But that was 9.
So I was so surprised and pleasantly surprised at how they were able to turn that series around.
I mean, it's a great game.
It is in the dirt.
It's a great game. They were making weird offshoots and just
I had no
Yeah.
hope left for that franchise, and then they turned it around. It was actually great. And like whatever, if you're not, I am familiar with Mortal Kombat. I played it as a kid, and it was like I played that game for the story. So I'm not going to play online. I'm going to get my butt kicked. But the punches and then the kicks and everything felt really good.
Sure.
The X-ray stuff was interesting and like.
Yeah, X-ray stuff kind of, to me, always felt sort of like a cheaty kind of thing. Or just, I don't know, like you would just be losing a match awful.
Oh, you mean the super stuff?
Yeah, like you would lose them. I'd be getting the crap kicked out of me.
Yeah, but you can kind of turn it around. It's like
right, you turn that around, but it's almost the dude's like, really, now we have to wait 30 more seconds for me to win this match. Like,
whatever.
come on.
It feels good for me when I'm like, broke your face.
Yeah, bro, what's that? Your spine's in 40,000 pieces.
And then you get back up. I don't know.
No problem. That didn't hurt.
You're okay.
But yeah, so I'm into it. I played through the first chapter. I had fun.
Yeah.
There's like a Sonya, Johnny Cage like thing going on, which is fun. And then the kid. Yeah. They have a love child.
And did you play as the kid?
No, not. I'm sure you do eventually, because Cassie's part of like the crew that is like the newcomers.
Yeah, the up and coming next generation.
There's like one of Liu Kang's like nephews, brothers, uncles, nieces, whatever.
It's like Muppet Babies.
Totally.
Okay.
And what's cool is like so that guy Chinook.
Yeah.
So he like brings back all of the undead characters like Nightwolf, and Stryker.
Why are they undead?
They're just dead, and he like brings them back, and they're all like zombie-eyed.
Oh, he brings them back as undead.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like my favorite Cabal's part of that crew.
Yeah. Why did they? I don't remember why they got wiped out.
I can't really follow much
Okay.
of the
Great.
story.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like this
sure.
is like the total surface.
Don't worry. I'll go back and I'll Wikipedia it.
Just read that Wikia.
Yeah.
You can't even go to Wikipedia. They don't have that. It's Wikia. So there's that. That comes out in about a month. Looking forward to that. And then I want to talk about this Adam Sandler movie.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, so I can't tell how I feel about it.
What are you talking about?
Obviously talking about Pixels. It's this movie Pixels, which we believe was inspired by this other sort of short.
If not like
YouTube
made
video.
by the same person who did the
possible.
short.
Right.
Which was a cool short.
Very cool.
On YouTube, you can go see
it. Was more aesthetically awesome, great CG.
A little artsy piece.
Yeah, of course. So now this is a movie with Kevin James and Adam Sandler.
Yeah, so give me the pitch.
Josh Gad.
Yeah.
And
Who's Josh Gad?
Josh Gad is a heavier dude. Olaf from Frozen he plays. He was in the first run of Book of Mormon.
Sure. Josh Gad.
No, not ringing a bell. He's got a new show with Billy Crystal on FX.
Billy Crystal has a new show?
On FX called The Comedians.
No, I have no
with
idea.
Josh Gad.
Okay.
You'd recognize him if you saw him.
Yeah, I bet.
And the movie is about...
Elevator pitch. Let's go.
It's okay, so this... I really wonder what that elevator pitch must have been like. I don't even know if elevator pitch... Right?
It's Vinny, the salary man, movie maker.
Salary man, director of acquisitions.
Yeah, I've got to go. I'm going up to 27.
Vinny, just give me 30 seconds of your time here, all right?
Okay.
What floor are you going up to? Let's go up all the way to the top so it's the longest ride possible.
Yeah, I'll listen to you.
Here you go. Let me just pitch this to you real quick. I got a movie idea.
Okay.
Nostalgia, everyone's 80s video games, right? Everyone can resonate with that. I want to make a movie about aliens coming from outer space, but they're based upon video games and they threaten the world. You want to, and then we get Adam Sandler to win.
So I've got Adam Sandler on like a 5-movie deal. You think this is something he could slide into?
I think we could burn another one right here.
Okay. I really got to just
and see.
Yeah. So I think that's probably it's probably how it went down. I don't know. I don't know why Adam Sandler.
But why Adam Sandler?
But I saw a comment somewhere on the internet that was like, oh, why do you have these video games and then like these guys just look old and tired that are like fighting them? And I was like, yeah, that's about right.
It's about right.
That's about right.
Why have the, what was that freaking movie called?
I don't know.
That they all did together.
Grown-Ups?
Yeah, why have the Grown-Ups guys fight? I mean, don't get me wrong, like,
why not? Those movies do well.
Right, and it makes sense because...
It was like #1 at the box office.
Totally, and their generation grew up playing Donkey Kong and Pac-Man.
Sure.
So why not?
Why not? Because those are the games that you can get the rights to. Because nobody wants Master Chief, stomping... Well, But
the thing is that the movie's called Pixels.
Yeah, and they're all voxels.
And they're all... Is that the big...
Well, they're 3D pixels.
Right, so it's incorrect. It's essentially incorrect.
I am no scientist,
right,
despite what you may have heard.
I'm no ocular scientist.
And this lab coat I'm wearing. But I believe the pixel is not a 3D object.
Right, so... I mean, suspending our disbelief in that.
Maybe they'll explain it. Maybe at some point, some ass will be like, excuse me, actually, those are voxels, and that'll be it, right? And then
at the end of the film.
No, at the near beginning, like Adam Sandler's gonna be like,
Disclaimer.
"Oh," and I can't do Adam Sandler.
That sounded more like Kermit the Frog.
Hey everybody, getting ready to start Pixels here, and right on the set.
No, I can't do Adam Sandler. So Adam Sandler in your best. Adam Sandler. Okay, we'll say that, and then we'll say Pixels. The video games are coming. Yeah, and then somebody will be like, "Oh, actually, Adam Sandler character, they're voxels," and you'll be like, "Whatever, let's go get them."
Say whatever you want, Chlorophyll Man. It's time for the movie.
There you go. Oh, yeah, that's actually pretty good. Nicely done. It's like he's right here in the room. Maybe he's in our studio and I can hear him coming through. So the premise is that like they sent up the satellite, the Viger, Voyager.
Sure.
Right? And it's got. This is right? You're looking at me with a blank stare.
No, I believe you are.
And it was
correct.
like, oh, here's a snapshot. Here's a time capsule of humanity, and like Pac-Man and Donkey Kong,
right?
Somehow gets misinterpreted by the aliens as like acts of a war or something. This is from like the 5-minute trailer.
Okay,
I was half aslead.
So I only know a little bit of this. I didn't know about the act of war thing.
I have no idea. It says like, but something went wrong.
Okay, that's not the worst.
Or maybe they got zapped by gamma rays and came back as like giant.
Mutated. Yeah,
I don't know.
Sure.
I filled in the blanks as like, oh, aliens saw this and they're like, oh, this is how they
fight.
This is how they fight. Let's make this. So, and then I don't know, it descends, and then Pac-Man starts eating Manhattan, right?
Which, I guess.
Why is that? Why? What's good and bad about that?
That's what I'm trying to think of. What when I see the trailer, I get mad.
Why do you get mad?
I don't know. I just get mad. I just feel like they're ruining something.
Like what? Like how did they get the rights?
Right? How did they get the rights?
Wreck-It Ralph was okay.
Wreck-It Ralph was okay, but those, again, it's the same sort of like arsenal of characters, right? It's like 25-year plus sort of stuff. I mean, Nintendo tweeted out about the trailer, so like they signed off on Donkey Kong.
Well, they're not. It'd be really messed up if they didn't.
Oh my god!
Like, what are you guys doing?
We made a huge mistake.
That's Donkey Kong. That's like a trademark, right?
We own that shit.
We own that. Well, like you said before, like. With the NX and this, maybe they're just like, we gotta make some money.
I don't know.
We gotta make some money now. They want to make a movie with Adam Sandler and Donkey Kong. Do it. I don't care. Who's that guy? Is it Waterboy? I love him. Do it.
Now, don't you find a little bit of absurdity in the fact that, like, when you watch the trailer and you see this Pac-Man that's the size of a skyscraper?
Well,
I mean, in the poster, he's the size of like the Golden Gate Bridge.
Okay, I don't know if that's accurate.
That's not the scale.
That's not the scale.
I mean, it would appear as if these things are killing people. Like, there's no way the Pac-Man comes through Manhattan and doesn't kill like a hot dog vendor.
So did you watched the trailer, right?
Yeah.
So you remember when I forget his name, but the Pac-Man creator gets up and then there's hey, my son,
kill that
and he bites his hand and it starts turning into like
what
pixels.
Happens?
It starts like turning into like a pixel. So maybe that's what's happening to people. They're turning into like voxels.
Oh, and that's better than death.
I don't know.
Right?
I don't know.
It sounds pretty awful.
It sounds pretty awful. Comanche was pretty good. And that game was based on voxels, so I don't know.
I want to hate this in a way, but I also want to embrace it. I'm
going to propose a third option for you.
Why don't I just watch it and see how I like it?
Okay, that's option 4.
Yeah, what's the third one?
Ignore it.
It's tough.
Why?
Everyone keeps asking me about it.
What do you think of Pixels?
Yeah, exactly.
I know, I'm asking you.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know yet. My knee-jerk reaction from the trailer is that of disdain.
Well, like I don't know. I got nothing from the trailer.
Okay.
Like it was like, oh, this looks like that short I saw like years ago or whatever it was ago. And like I think that was cool. That was a cool short. Like it was like, hey, here's a neat visual trick and like some mapping we did on, and like this looks really rad.
Right, but it wasn't us fighting. It wasn't
an action movie.
Like when I saw that part at the end of the trailer, when like barrels. Kevin James like get these barrels are like exploding, explode. Come on,
Donkey Kong would wreck some. He would kick.
We wouldn't win this.
He would. He would kind of destroy you.
You realize like the way this movie's going to end is like someone somewhere like unplugs something, and like that's.
Oh, you're totally
like,
right.
Right? Someone someone
like
trips over. Someone trips over
This is
a
Adam
plug.
Sandler.
Yeah. Oh my God! I can't believe it. All you had to do was unplug it.
Yeah, no, it's gonna be his kid.
Yeah,
it's gonna be his kid's gonna do it.
Something. That's what I'm.
And
really
when they get in the
fearing.
cars and like these are your ghosts, like
Right.
yeah,
Right.
I don't know.
We'll have to see how it shakes out. Before we get to the Reddit portion of our show, I want to just quickly do a little surface level on a game that I'm quasi enthused about, and I know the Giant Bomb people have told me you are very excited about Bloodborne.
Oh yeah, I am excited about Bloodborne.
So you enjoy these sadistic video games that are like completely impossible to finish.
That is not true.
And you've told me that before. You're like, I just pretend to like these games.
I do. It's one of those things where it's like, I don't know. I don't want everybody to turn on me.
Right?
I just got to be out here.
I have it in the palm of my hand, and I don't want to lose
Holy
it.
cow! Like I gotta keep saying I really like this stuff, or it just could be a revolt.
So tell us, everyone, real quick, what Bloodborne, like, where's this come from? Like the series of
want me to
games.
go through the history of
yeah, just
Bloodborne?
real quick, and the From Software guys.
In the 70s, they sent a satellite up into space, Voyager. They want to snapshot.
It's 1982, by the way.
Oh,
they
really?
send it. So get your shit together.
Man, is it really?
Yeah.
82?
82.
It wasn't 70s?
Well, no, 82 is the storyline to Pixels,
Oh, it is.
but Bloodborne is something else.
So Bloodborne, like, explain what the Souls series is?
Yeah, like-
it's actually kind of weird. So do you actually want me to go into
so
it?
Demon's Souls was the first game.
Yeah,
in
sit back.
this-
Put the kick back. Let's go.
Sure,
Let's
yeah.
get into
Put
this.
the feet up for a second.
All right, so you had Demon's Souls, which came out in 1982, which came out, I don't know, it's like 5 years
I
ago?
want to say like 08.
Yeah, it came out a while ago. First in Japan, and then came over to the States. Interesting aside, I know this is going to go long. We got a copy of that at the Giant Bomb offices, just like sight unseen, right?
Yeah.
Just like one of those like silver discs they used to have for the like. Put it in. Jeff's like, hey, why don't you take a look at this? I had no idea what it was like. Because there was nobody else was playing it, right? Like there was no internet to go to, like to be like, I don't know what you're doing. And I remember, if you can go back, anybody listeners, watch the quick look for that game. I'm like, guys, check this out. I have no idea what to do in this.
Crazy.
And like, watch this when you swing the sword, like hits the walls and stuff like that. Like, I don't know where I'm going. Anyway, game comes out, winds up being a huge, like, I wouldn't say a massive, mainstream hit.
But a cult success and a critical success.
Yeah, and that's published by, at the time, is published by whatchamacallit,
Yeah, who did that?
Atlas.
Atlas, okay.
Right? So Atlas publishes that. Then you have and the creator of that goes on and makes Dark Souls, right? I might be getting some of this wrong, so I'm scratching my head. So Dark Souls comes out and it is awesome. That's my favorite.
Right, so that's your favorite amongst the Demon Souls and then Dark Souls and Dark Souls 2.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the structure of that's a little different, right? And then Dark Souls 2 comes out, and we've changed publishers at this point. Right now, I think it's Namco publishes Dark Souls 2. Something weird happened. I don't know. I think they were like, "Whoa, that was a success."
Right.
I don't know. Buy Atlas. I don't know. I really like Atlas stuff, so I don't know what happened there. And then Sony is publishing Bloodborne. I think that's right.
They are.
And I think so. It's weird. So the creator of Demon Souls is making Bloodborne.
And did he do Dark Souls as well?
I can't remember if he did Dark Souls, but I don't think he did Dark Souls 2.
Okay. Either way, the sort of thematic recurring thing is that these games are very difficult.
Yeah, it's surface level stuff. Is like if you want to be like a dude who's like sitting on the sidelines being like, "Brah, those hard games."
Yeah, for sure.
Like they're not though.
They're not. They just take a lot of patience, which most gamers aren't willing to give.
The thing that people say is they are tough but fair. Right.
Right.
Okay. So it's like the mistakes you make that get you killed are
You'll pay for it.
Your fault.
Right.
You did this. It's not the game. The game will give you every opportunity. They are unforgiving.
Right.
That's what I would say. Right.
Sure.
Games are unforgiving. You make a couple of mistakes, you'll go
relentless.
down. Dark Souls 2, I did not find that hard.
You played through the whole
Yeah,
thing?
and everybody says kind of your hardest one is your first one, right? So I played Demon Souls, then Dark Souls, and Dark Souls 2. The Bloodborne stuff, the reason why everybody's getting so excited for it, It's supposed to be a callback, I think, this is what people are saying, more to like the Demon Souls, because the things got a little different as the series progressed.
Right.
And also a much more reliance, from what I understand. Again, I haven't played, I haven't touched it since I think E3 like 2 years ago or something.
Sure.
On agility and kind of dodging.
Right.
Whereas in Dark Souls 2 and in Dark Souls as well, you can kind of tank your way
It's
through.
a blocking thing, yeah.
You could, if you wanted to. I mean, there's a lot of ways to play it. And I'm sorry if I got any of that stuff wrong. You can go look it up in much more factually correct places than right here. And I'm excited for it because Demon Souls and Dark Souls, I didn't like Dark Souls 2 as much. I was actually a little disappointed in it. The designs and the very intentional structure of those games is kind of amazing if you dig into it. Like,
for sure.
Everything is done for a reason, and everything is placed and put, and the characters are just, the designs are amazing, and it's all feels very crafted.
Right. I think I've never really, I think the most I gave one of those games was like 15 hours.
That's a good chunk.
And then I was sort of like, all right.
And there's a very steep learning curve.
Yeah, and for me, look, I get it. A game is tough, and it's not. To me, there's some games that are like so hard that it's just like it's not worth my time to even try because there's other stuff to play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right, especially if you're doing this stuff for a living.
Right, exactly.
You kind of got to move on.
Totally, but no, I'm enthusiastic for it. I like the style way more than the Dark Souls medieval sort of stuff.
It's like this kind of Victorian.
I like the darker, like everyone looks like weird Jack Skellington like slash people.
Slash like you're talking about like
Guns N' Roses.
Yeah,
slash,
okay,
with those top hats and
the
the crazy hair. So I'm gonna give it a legit play.
So the stuff that I've always found with those games, mostly on the regular, is you can come back to it.
Right.
Like a lot of people play it, put it down, and they come back to it, and then they have a breakthrough moment where they like realize, okay, I've pushed through this barrier.
Right. I see what I'm doing here.
Yeah. A lot of people didn't come in on Demon Souls. I felt kind of alone in the wilds there.
Yeah.
I was like, this game's all right. This game's all right.
Right.
And I put it down for a long time and came back to it. And then Dark Souls, I think, was the big one where everybody kind of came on board. I don't mean like I was evangelizing to the world, but it seemed like Dark Souls was the mainstream hit. And then a lot of people played that, and then Dark Souls 2. Some people love it.
I think the big hang up for a lot of people was like, I don't understand exactly what everything means. Like there was this hollowing weird thing that
a lot of people like that.
They do, but for me it's like I respect it. I want to get into it, but I also want to have it explained to me instead of just sort of being blind out there.
So I bought for Dark Souls, I didn't have it, but for Dark Souls 2, I got it with the guide.
Okay.
And then, because at some point after I'd beaten Dark Souls 1, I went and I bought the official guide after I'd finished it. And those books were well done.
Yeah.
And so I didn't actually look through the guide for 2 until I was kind of a ways through. But like I knew I was missing narrative.
Sure.
So I kind of went into the book to be like, please just tell me why this character is here.
What's happening?
Yeah, what's happening? In Dark Souls 1, you had to do this like certain sequence of events, which unless you're online or unless you have a book in front of you, you wouldn't catch everything. But that's why some people love it. They love it because it's like a game.
It's a social sort of thing.
It's a social sort of thing.
Yeah.
Apparently, Bloodborne. If you don't know, the Dark Souls and Demon Souls series have like persistent online stuff,
right? Like little tips, little crowdsourced sort of.
That's right. Notes. Where you can write stuff on the floor, but also you can get invaded.
Right.
That's kind of a hallmark of the series, or you can summon other people to help you. And apparently, they're trying to modify some of that. I think for Bloodborne, we'll see how that kind of works out.
Yeah.
I would love it if it were just like, hey, do you want to join me? Like, let's go play this together, because it's always been anonymous.
Right.
That's the thing in that series.
Yeah, instead of just being like, hey, Vinny's on, let me go.
Yeah, let's go get each other together. Yeah. So we'll see how that stuff shakes out. But that's a huge one coming out.
Yeah,
it's weird how it went from Demon Souls to being like, this is a huge, big release. Also, how it's like, the publishing has gone.
Definitely.
Now you have Bloodborne, which is not a sequel to Dark Souls.
Right.
Not even the same publishing house.
Right. Yeah.
So
it'll be. I'm looking forward. I'm gonna do a lot this weekend. That's for sure.
Yeah, that's out. When is this going up?
That's out Tuesday.
Okay.
This thing will be up today.
Oh, well, so
Friday.
this coming Tuesday.
I
got mine on pre-order.
Excellent.
Deluxe edition.
Oh, what does that give you?
I don't know.
Like a cape? Like a better cape?
Yes, it gives me a real cape.
Yeah.
A real that you'll see me in the office wearing.
And a top hat and a magic wand.
And a sick guitar. So when I'm like, in the cold November rain.
I'm telling you, man, everyone looks like Slash in this game. All right, Reddit portion of the program. Head over to reddit.com/r/the404 and be a part of the conversation when the show's not on the air.
Why can't they go when it's on the air?
Well, when we're not on the air, I guess we used to do it live.
Oh, gotcha.
Just
Okay.
Me saying that habitually. A lot of the stuff's headed towards you because I told everyone you're going to be on the thing.
Awesome.
So this is mostly for you. So
thank you. Not your other guests. I feel bad for them.
Don't worry about it.
Just hey guys, just remain quiet during this part.
Everyone in the room, shut up. This is for Vinny.
I'm gonna field these. Don't worry.
Killer DLS wants to know, where's the weekly Vinny and Alex podcast? Miss ya, Papa Vinny.
I don't know. Somebody's always in this room hogging the microphones. I wish we could break in here and get some time.
Yeah, that's not a real answer.
That's a real answer. What are you talking about? This room is always full.
It's always filled with nothing.
Even though they're your microphones. It's not ours. We're planning on doing one.
We just talked about Bloodborne. Is Vinny all settled into his new home, and will he even have time to play Bloodborne?
I'm settled for sure, and I will have to make time because I really want to play that game.
Chibi Kanganaga. I swear to God, that's the name. This one's for me. So why don't you,
want me to read it to you?
Why don't you have a smoke there? No, if you want.
Okay.
All right, the third one down.
Hold on. Do I have to have like a...
Yeah. Get
Hello. Hey, guys. Could you talk about... Oh, that's not the one. I'm sorry. I was reading aviators. Elevators?
Escalator.
So what's the hosting plan when Jeff is out on baby baccalaureate duty? Who's going to host?
So, you sound like you're curious.
Who's going to host? I am with Chibiconga here.
Chimichanga. That's a tough one to say.
Chibikanaga.
What is the hosting plan? We haven't really talked about it yet.
What is the hosting
plan? We should
plan?
probably do that because she's due in like 3 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's soon.
It's very soon.
Yeah.
I kind of I'm not going to lie, knowing that you're a father twice over.
Yeah.
It's giving me a lot of comfort.
Oh, that's good.
Not that, if Vinny could do it, I could do it, but that you seem to be like a sort of, balanced dude.
Wow, that's not true at all.
Well, but for my perception, I like to call myself a good judge of character.
Okay.
And I feel like I'm getting the right vibe I want to get from you.
Oh, thanks. I don't know what that means, but sure.
No, that's totally a compliment.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm very tired most of the time.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm worried about. Because I love to sleep. And
I used to love sleeping.
Yeah, see, that's what's
and other things too.
Yeah.
But now I love my children.
But you do, right? You like having kids?
I love it.
Okay, cool.
I mean, I would be arrested if I said anything else, right?
If you were you could have been like, maybe I wish I didn't do it.
No one would say that.
I don't know. That's what
Not even the worst person in the world would say that.
That's a big fear of mine. I'm sure it's not an irrational fear. I'm sure it's like a normal thing that
you're gonna be like, they're gonna get on the other side of this and be like, oh man.
Yeah, I have this irrational fear that I'll just not be interested in the kid.
I think I would say that most genetics would betray you at that point.
Right.
There's
something kicks in.
Something kicks in your DNA where you're just like, I gotta protect this thing.
Yeah.
I love this thing, and I will give up everything to do.
Yeah.
this.
See, that's amazing. I thought that would happen with the dog. But it just kind of did.
Well, I don't know how much DNA you share with the dog.
You'd be surprised.
Yeah. All right. All right. Can I read the next one for you?
Yeah, for sure. We did that. Do this guy.
Okay.
That's for you though. But yeah, go for it.
Oh wait. Oh, so we're gonna skip that other one?
Yeah, because we talked about Nintendo.
Okay. Sorry. Elevator. Oh wow. How? Okay. This is. I'm sorry. I got a weird angle. This is from Flying Donkey 04. How is the Giant Bomb East crew handling living near the CBS Interactive? Thank you. Family, are there times when there is crossover coverage or times when you all share resources?
That's a very technical question.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's getting along well. It's sort of your answer to give here.
How are we handling living? I love it. It's
you like this new setup?
I really enjoy being like around you and Mark and everybody else and Brian, those guys.
For sure.
I get to meet some new people. I miss the guys out in San Francisco and
Don't lie
GameSpot
about that.
guys.
Don't lie about that.
They listen to this on the regular.
The GameSpot guys are good dudes.
Yeah.
I don't know the Giant Bomb people as much.
You don't want to.
Yeah,
They're terrible people. They're
I
horrible.
mean, I've heard nothing but awful shit.
All they
about
do is
that.
like play Metal Gear and talk about wrestling.
Yeah, it's just like enough.
It's enough already. Come on. What are you doing? It's awesome. It's great because it's new. I always wondered what happened out here.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And they're like, wait, really? There's a New York office? I didn't know that. That's cool.
And now that you're here, don't you feel like this is the more important office? Vinny's looking at me like, I don't know if I should answer that because I feel like
a loaded question.
It's a loaded question. I give you a ticking time bomb.
It's wherever you are, Jeff.
Wherever you yourself are is where the.
That's not true.
No,
I've definitely not been in the most important place a lot of times in my life. Shouldn't you be? Shouldn't you be getting married right now?
Oh shit!
Shouldn't you be in the hospital right now and your wife in labor? Oh, you're totally right. It's different. It is way different.
Yeah, it's a different
I could spend a whole
here.
podcast talking about the different culture and the different office. This one's a lot more buttoned up.
Okay.
Buttoned down?
No, button up.
Button up. Yeah, like network stuff, security. This is the like sales and marketing and money changing hands office.
Right.
The San Francisco office is the content and there's sales and stuff over there, but the whole floor like was games and entertainment and
Sure.
that's a different vibe.
Right.
There are people having like serious adult conversations on this floor. Like,
yeah, a lot of movers and shakers
Yeah.
are on this side of the fence. I think
a lot
for
of ties
for,
and jackets.
yeah, there's a lot of that. I think for CNET, though, I mean, it is. That's not to say New York doesn't have this sort of more laid back vibe to it. There is a little bit of that in this office. But we don't see it that much, I guess. But for CNET, there's a lot of content creation here for CNET.
Oh, for sure. But compared to the San Francisco office, relative to that, I mean, there's a big. CNET's got a floor.
CNET has a floor over there. Yeah, you'd be surprised what toe to toe what happens
head to head.
Yeah, but it's but no, I love it here too. So.
It's one floor here, and it's a big open floor plan. So maybe that's why it's like we just don't see that stuff in San Francisco. Where it's all separated by
there's
floor.
Definitely that exists out there for sure.
They have 6 floors out there.
It's crazy. It's an awesome building.
Yeah, each floor is themed differently.
Yeah,
like,
it's weird.
It's like here's Italy. And it's super weird.
Flying Donkey also says, in 15 years, which Japanese video game hardware manufacturer is going to be more profitable, Nintendo or Sony? Not which one sells more units or has a bigger install base, but which one is more profitable.
That's an interesting question.
It's a real interesting question.
Because Nintendo always, or traditionally, I don't think they did on the Wii U, but they sold consoles at a profit, which was different than Microsoft and Sony, which sold at a loss to get it back on the software.
Right.
I don't know if they do that anymore, if that's part of their thing. I don't know if they took a bath on the Wii U.
I feel, they definitely don't, because the Wii U is still $250, and I'm sorry, that thing is not $250.
So you think they're still making money on every console sold?
Definitely.
Oh, okay.
If it's $250, come on, it's got 32 gigabytes of.
It's got the whole touchscreen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. I don't know.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know.
Well, look, I think that's the most expensive element of the whole thing.
The touchscreen.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I think that's like $100 thing, right?
Do they even sell them separately?
No.
Okay.
Never wound up doing that. Okay, I'll let you take this one if you want to talk about this one.
Wait, did we answer?
I think. Oh, we didn't.
Yeah.
No, which one do you think?
Profitable.
I kind of think Sony. Me personally, I don't see Nintendo making the turnaround, although they've done it before.
So we're talking margins here, right?
Yeah.
And it's Sony, just their games division, right? Like not Sony as a company, because they have their Sony Entertainment.
Yeah, this is their PlayStation division. It's hard.
It's a tough one. I would almost go with Nintendo because they still have such an unchallenged market in the handheld stuff.
Yeah,
like
it's like how
the Vita's doing. Vita has moved up the charts a bit in my personal stick, but like man, they got that Pokemon.
But this is 15 years, so I guess software wise, I don't know. But he's saying the question's a little tough too because he's saying hardware manufacturer.
Right. I don't know if there'll be a PlayStation in 15 years. I don't know, but I bet I don't know if there'll be a Nintendo home console, but I bet there'll be a handheld device.
Yeah, maybe. It'll be the NX still running on.
They're going to bring back the SP.
That's what's happening.
The best handheld ever made.
Ever. I had a silver one. Which one did you have? Did you have a
silver
blue?
one?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Silver's the way to go.
Yeah, I broke it out the other day.
Oh, nice.
I'm showing my kid. He was playing Metroid.
Yeah. What is it? How old's your kid?
He's going to be 3.
And what does he think about these like antiquated graphics?
Yeah, he thinks these are amazing.
Yeah, he
Get
thinks
some
it's
screen
cool.
time on the.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, the SP. It's a sick device.
Take this next one.
Okay, Vinny, my hair. This is from Wikilopoulos. What does that say?
I whenever I read it, I purposefully mispronounce it.
Okay, so it's Wikitoops.
Yeah.
Okay. Vinny, my hair is starting to thin out. I'm 29, soon to be 30 years old. And I have been told that my family is prone to baldness. Any advice from a bald guy to a soon-to-be bald guy? I mean, what are you going to do? You can go, what would you say? He's going to be 30. Yeah, if you were like younger, I'd say like hold out and there'll be science will have your back. But you're 30. What is it, like Propecia? They had like the stuff you rub on your head that you can't get near your kids.
That's Rogaine.
Yeah, and the Propecia is like the pill.
Yeah. I mean, my hair is way thinner than it used to be.
Yeah.
As well. It's not fun.
So it's not fun. And I just got to the point where...
You look very good, though.
Oh, thank you very much.
You really do. Like, you look great. My brother shaved his head. He looks great. I have a very big fear about shaving my head because I just don't think I can
So you've never done it?
No. If I did it, it'd be over.
You mean
like if I did it now,
you couldn't bring it back?
Yeah. So I need to hold on to what I have.
You gotta. That's the thing. Like if I ever want to try and grow it back out and see what's going on.
Yeah.
It's gonna be like a burned carpet. It's just gonna be a mess, I think. So like I don't. So that's the thing. Like if you're just starting, I think if you don't mind, hey, check out like the Rogaine and the Propecia and stuff. The thing that I always read about that is like if you stop, right, it's just like you're shedding like a dog.
No, I have a buddy who has a lot of success with Rogaine.
Yeah, and if you stop, isn't it like you're off it and then
he hasn't stopped, but
and he's
been using it for like 4 years and he looks great.
Does it grow back hair?
Yeah. For him, it did.
Can I use it, or am I like?
I think the ship sailed.
So the ship's at the bottom of the ocean.
I think the Titanic has hit the goddamn iceberg. You know what it is, though?
Can't patch this hole.
I mean, look, like I don't know. For me, it's a big thing. I'm very self-conscious about it. I think.
See, I was, and then I just did it.
Yeah, but you also wound up looking real good.
Thank you again, but like before I did it, I was like, all right, this is what you got to do, and I failed miserably at this. I got to get in real good shape before I shave my head, right? Because I don't want to just look like a marshmallow.
No, I don't.
Melting
I mean,
man.
I don't look at you and be like, oh God, Vinny's a goddamn mess.
He's kind of. I have zero clothes. My shoes have holes in them. I haven't done shopping. This is like what fatherhood.
Oh, is this what fatherhood does?
Like. Kinda, because everything just gets ruined immediately, and you're like, well, so I had the fatherhood combo with the new house, right? So
yeah,
like, I was just completely wiped out financially.
And
so like I'm wearing like my sneakers, like my kicks, like it's just a mess. These pants, like high waters I got on, like
it's all of a sudden starting to paint a much darker picture for me.
But it's great. It's great.
But emotionally, I'm
because you don't care,
right?
Like you wonder, like you see dads that are walking around in like sweatpants and like you're like, I'm never gonna be like that, and then you're like, no, I know how you got like that. You just don't care anymore. Yeah. Who cares? Who gives a crap?
No, I mean, who gives a crap before you have a kid?
I did.
Yeah.
That's why I was so damn pretty.
Well, you still are.
Thanks. So yeah, I don't know. My advice is like if you're not gonna fight it, if you're not gonna kind of go a medicinal route or something like that. Hold on as long as you can. Change your hair, get shorter and shorter, and then have somebody you trust tell you if you would look good with a shaved head.
Yeah,
check what your head looks like.
That's probably a good idea, and to maybe even like Photoshop yourself if you can do that.
If you've got
somebody
at the mall can probably do it.
Yeah, get a glamour photo and then
take it off.
I promise you someone who could Photoshop you.
Yeah, put your hand in front of your forehead or something.
Yeah, you gotta play it like that, I guess.
Should we keep going?
Yeah, let's.
You read this one.
Okay. Do you think VR will play a significant role in the future of gaming? I haven't tried it yet. I'm hopeful the potential it holds. Yeah, it will.
Significant?
Yeah, I do think significant. I do. I after a couple months of thinking about it, and the last time we talked about this was our Christmassy thing where we talked about the merits of VR. Yeah. I truly believe it's not just going to be games. I think people are going to be rocking VR sets, watching their own movies, and just sort of really just disconnecting themselves from reality.
Just closing off.
Just actually making a physical barrier between it instead of just like an imaginary one.
With these big goggles. You think that'll be the device?
I don't know. Look, I really believe we will hit the point where we're doing stuff where like a pair of glasses will just laser project images right into your retina.
Sure.
Where you're just like...
That's like Microsoft's thing, isn't
it?
Like
you're just going to have... Like eventually that's where we're going to be.
Right.
Because what's the point, right? If you can create 8K perfect virtual reality that is indistinguishable from real life.
Yes.
That is what is going to happen. It's just what's going to happen.
So, but you're talking about layering stuff on real life.
No.
Or you're talking about
I'm talking about jacking in, basically.
Were you the one were you describing the story to me about the book or movie or something?
Oh, Ready Player One?
No. About the goggles, like everybody lives in the goggle world and then somebody breaks out?
No, but that's kind of what Ready Player One's about. Did you read that?
Yeah, Ready Player One's not about that.
Well, it's more like people jacking in.
That's where the guy...
It's Willy Wonka meets the Matrix.
Yeah, and it's like, hey, you gotta like, the guy, you gotta like...
It's an Easter egg hunt.
Yeah, the Easter egg hunt.
Yeah,
that was a silly book.
It's a silly book, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too. I checked it. Did you ever read Super Sad True Love Story?
No.
Oh, that's dark.
Yeah?
Oh, it's terrible.
Okay, I'll read that.
You should.
I'm in the right frame of mind for that.
Oh, it's so bad.
But I really believe that we're going to hit the point where everything is just projected, like the movies you watch, everything is just perfectly projected onto your core. It
was Alex. Okay, so because it plays off of what you're talking about, I'll say it real fast. I didn't forget the name of the movie, but it's they simulate the world perfectly, basically. But to the point where then you can just muck around with it, right? You want to be a cartoon character, you want to be whatever. Right. So people are like driving to work, and you look around, you're driving your cartoon car or whatever. It's just basically layering all that stuff on top of reality.
But you're not actually doing it, or you are?
You are. Okay. But everybody's just walking around with these goggles.
Right.
And then somebody like breaks out of it, right?
Okay.
And then look around, and everybody's like filthy, like covered in poop, and like there's reality.
And that's a movie?
Yeah, I think it's a movie. Yeah, and Alex was telling me about it, and it's like because nobody's in the real world anymore, so everybody's just this horrible looking, like filthy, like sanitation's gone.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because like everybody's living in their goggle world.
Right. But that's the thing. Like the way we're headed.
Do you think that's it?
There is just.
So you're saying I'm a futurist because you look at me and you're like, wow, Vinny, you look like crap already.
No, you're ahead of your time.
I'm way ahead.
No, but think about it. The way, and I don't even think you're taking a generous leap by thinking that. I really, truly believe this is just a logical, order that we're headed.
But you'll get pushback. It'll swing, and then you'll get the counterculture that's like, oh man, I only want real experience.
Oh, like the people still rocking vinyl? Come on.
What's wrong with that?
There's nothing wrong with it, and I like vinyl,
better.
but it does sound better. But like at the same time, it's such a small percentage that will not change anything.
Everything is compressed.
Have you heard some FLAC, man? FLAC sounds great too.
FLAC's the future,
and that's digital.
That is the future.
Hey, man, I'm just calling it how I see it.
Sure. Yeah. So you say VR significant?
I think for sure.
What the hell is the other one? The VR gear,
dude? So that Vive. From what I've heard,
what's the Vive?
The HTC/Valve Vive.
Oh,
their headset is like out of control.
Yeah, I've heard that too. But that's the one with the pylons, right?
Yeah, those little like sensors on the side.
The Gear VR is a Samsung thing.
Yeah,
that's the one with the crazy magnifying eyes.
Yeah, I don't think people like that.
I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, that's using your phone.
Yeah, that's silly.
To do VR.
It's gonna get silly. It's gonna get so silly.
Oculus is already, in my opinion, like the hype machine behind Oculus, because it's just not out yet.
Yeah,
I feel like it's fading a little.
It's fading. Yeah, it needs to come out. They need to. Well, I don't know if you said it or somebody said it that maybe they're focusing more on like B2B.
Right. There's other applications,
and
as soon as Facebook came into business with them, they probably were like, well, there's other things we could probably do.
And then there's Morpheus, which I think will make it very mainstream.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
And we're going to see so much garbage, so much hot garbage, just a dumpster fire of stuff. Okay.
All right, two more here. This is from Pop Can's face.
Yeah, you got it. Like pop cans. You nailed it.
3 Zelda games have recently been updated for modern consoles and handhelds: Wind Waker, Ocarina of Time, and Majora's Mask. What Zelda game would you like seeing get the remake treatment?
Oh, yeah, and he kind of, I guess if you don't count Link Between Worlds as a remake.
Which technically was Link to the Past.
Yeah, kind of a remake, but I guess it's a new game. That would be the one I would want to see. But
I was going to say, they kind of did everything I want to see.
Yeah.
But the remake of Wind Waker is going to knock your freaking socks off.
It's gonna be rad. Yeah, I don't know. Like, what Zelda game do I want to see remade? I don't know.
I don't know either. You want to know why? Because I want a freaking new one.
I would like to see like actually, I would want to see some of those early Game Boy games remade, full color and like Oracle of Seasons and all that.
Okay, I remember I liked the Minish Cap.
Yeah, Minish Cap was actually really good. There was the Phantom Train or whatever.
The train tracks.
Yeah, like some of those were later ones though. But there was even before that. The one with the rat. Remember the one with the raft and the boomerang?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember you get like a raft and a boomerang and a ladder?
Wasn't that?
And you get like a bow. You remember that one? And you have to collect the heart pieces.
You're talking about the first Zelda game ever?
Remember Zelda?
Remember the first Zelda game?
Totally. I saw a Zelda, you know if you played that demo on the Oculus, the like first Zelda?
No.
It's pretty weird.
Yeah.
Like basically they did the whole thing in 3D. And so you put the Oculus on, you're playing that first Zelda in first person, like running around stabbing.
What do you think
Octoroks.
of? What do you think of the Netflix thing?
What is that?
The show, the Zelda show that they're making on Netflix.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Jeez, I haven't heard about that in like a while.
It's been like a couple months. The news came out, and then it just got swept under the rug.
I don't want to talk about this.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
I don't want. Look, why?
Yeah, it's weird.
What is the Zelda story?
What is the Zelda, and how am I going to give a shit about that?
I watched the cartoon as much as I could.
Silly.
Yeah.
Finally, and we'll end on this.
Okay.
This is from Wild Eyes 88.
Mm-hmm.
Would someone would like some more thoughts on from Jeff on streaming gaming and the future of it? And that's what PlayStation Now is. That's what NVIDIA Grid is.
Mm-hmm.
Recently bought a Vita after not having a gaming interest since GTA 5. Although one needs a good connection and not everyone has the luxury, PlayStation Now is a very nice experience and I was really impressed. Sure, it has its moments, but to me it felt like online games where there's some lag. But the service may have actually pulled me back into gaming.
That's interesting.
So I think PlayStation Now is mostly bad.
Okay.
From a user experience.
To crush this guy's,
I'm not now. Yeah. Look, you can't like. So I remember, and I haven't been on there in a couple months. But when I played Killzone 3, over PlayStation Now, it was very bad. I was not happy.
Like laggy bad?
Yeah, because you can't play a first-person shooter with a streaming connection. It
just too laggy.
Just doesn't work. Or
a racing game.
Right. I mean, they figured out how to do multiplayer, but for whatever reason, this wasn't working. So,
like the concept is you're sending commands to something that's rendering video and sending it back to you.
Right.
That's a long return trip.
There's a lot going on for the computations to occur and then have it sent back to you. It's a long trip, like you said. Obviously, this is the future, though, right? Like, there's only going to be a time when you're streaming stuff.
Yes, they will figure this out.
They will figure this out, and the latency will be negligible.
You will not be buying new video cards in 20 years.
Not going to happen. Yeah. So it's the
Heard
future.
It here.
Yeah. I mean, we're not breaking any ground, but it's the future, and I think it's just too nascent right now. We really gotta wait a couple of years until fiber, and it's not just on the the product end. It's on the end of our internet service and how good that gets. So it's a multifaceted sort of equation that has to lock in.
Yeah, definitely a lot of parties have to kind of get on board with this to make it a great experience.
Yeah,
like. The home streaming stuff isn't terrible. Have you tried some of that from like a Steam box?
Yes. It's not bad.
It's not bad. But even that, and that's probably your going over a LAN or something. It's probably your best case scenario. If you have a good computer, even that can be laggy.
PS4 remote play on the Vita is a mixed bag for me.
Nice.
And I have I have a great, local. I mean, my router is fantastic.
What are you rocking?
I've got this Netgear like Spider one.
Sure. That AC?
Something amazing. Yeah, AC for sure.
And the Vita supports AC?
No.
Oh.
I think the Vita only does N.
Oh. Huh. So you're not getting
You're not getting the best possible, but you're getting the best possible that the Vita can do.
Right.
So, plus I have a wired connection to my PS4.
Sure.
There's certain games that you're just like, man, this is not working.
I think it's one of those things where you might just get games, I don't really want to say that, are developed, like if that became a thing, like that are tuned for it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I think
like when you went
they'll have to program it.
Yes. And when you went to LCD TVs versus CRTs, you had to compensate for lag in the process.
Yeah.
Right? When things are HDMI and LCD screens.
For sure.
It's different than CRTs, which the response time was a lot faster. So actually programming and games had to be different. It's why you kind of can't just plug in an old console and expect to have the jump accuracy and stuff on an old game playing on an LCD TV, because digital processing happens on that stuff.
And now,
like rhythm games.
Like think about like the environment you play in Call of Duty Online. Like that environment is not the campaign environment.
No.
Like that's a different...
It's weird stuff happening.
Yeah, there's weird
It's
magic.
maths.
Yeah, it's a
predictive
lot of
maths and like...
like there's a lot, and Microsoft talked a big game about cloud computing and all their things, and like Titanfall is the only game to really like do that, and you're like, what the hell was all about?
Yeah. Well, remember they were like, oh man, when everybody's plugged in at the same time, only on Xbox One will you be able to tap the power of the cloud because you're online all the time. And everybody was like, no, I don't want that. And they're like, don't worry about it. We're not including that feature. You can unplug your Xbox One. Also, we just shot the cloud in the head.
It's the cloud? We took that down.
That's gone. Forget it. Baby, it's raining.
It's just it's so funny because they were I remember when they were pitching it, and they didn't even have like a game application. They had like a star tracking thing. Do you remember that? Where they were like in real time we're using
like folding at home style thing?
They were using at home cloud computing to accurately predict the course of the sky, and like they were tracking like almost 500,000 stars or whatever it was. And I was like, all right, well,
this speaks to my interest. Keep talking.
I'm like, go on, Mr. deGrasse Tyson. Like,
right.
So we'll see how it works out, man. I'm psyched on any new technology that can somehow benefit the gaming experience, but
I think it's going to be some of they're going to have to figure it out.
Totally.
At some point, they're going to stop supporting all the games that you have bought on Steam. Well, Steam maybe, but definitely, I think Steam, definitely your Xbox.
Yeah, I think it's safe to say your Steam games are going to be with you when you're dead.
You think so?
Oh, yeah.
Like they're going to keep the Switch on forever?
I mean,
you'll be able to download it from Steam forever? That is very hopeful.
I don't know about download,
That's
but
what I'm talking about.
I think if Steam were to ever go away, they would just be like, okay, you can
Flip
download
the Switch,
it.
Everybody gets a press account. Go.
Or whatever it is. Like, think about it.
Yeah, you can
you're just
download
gonna
it,
get to
but
the point where you're... Oh, and I'm also talking about you'll have that cloud forever.
What? You don't even know what the cloud is. What are you talking about?
No, but you know what I mean. Like, you'll have that account that's linked to all these games. Why would you not have that forever?
You can have that forever.
Unless Valve just folds.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what if who's going to host the...
Right. If that happens, well, then maybe they'll just let everyone download something.
Right. But then they'll turn off the servers at some point.
Sure.
But like, look at games that kind of just... You're not going to... It's an interesting time because you have Xbox 360, you have Xbox Live, you have games that you bought on your Xbox 360 that maybe you deleted off your hard drive, right?
Yeah. They're pretty much gone forever now.
Do you think you'll be able to download those...
I don't.
And they don't make the systems compatible anymore, right? Because that's a fool's errand, right?
Yeah.
So they're not backwards compatible. So the only way to do it would be to emulate it on the server side and stream it to yourself.
Right.
So that's what I think you're going to... And that's what you're seeing Sony do.
And that might be like your backdoor into your archive.
Like, oh, you own Geometry Wars. You can stream it, which will be a miserable experience because Geometry Wars is like the twitchiest game. But like this is how we're going to give you access when we turn off Xbox Live on the 360.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's really, I used to think like I had a good grasp of what was coming down the pike.
Sure.
And now it's just like, who knows? You know, which is fun. I think that's a fun.
That's a great place to be. It makes E3s more exciting because, boy, they need something.
So this E3, does Nintendo even mention the letters N and X?
Yeah.
You think so? Because they did come out and say we won't have anything more until 2016.
Oh, then no, I didn't know that part.
But okay, I thought maybe you knew. But
Yeah.
I still kind of, but I still kind of agree with you. I feel like they would be silly to not keep this hype fire burning.
Well, then they did that with the dolphin with that whole thing. Like they kind of said it and then they didn't.
Man, for a company we are head over heels for, they sure have burned.
I'm telling you, they're so silly. They're one of the silliest companies.
Well, and it's also a cultural thing too, right? Like it's not a weird culture, but it's a different culture.
Yeah, but Sony kind of figured it out.
Yeah, but I think Sony makes a very concerted effort to.
Sony is a global technology company,
and they go out of their way to accommodate all regions.
Sony is a hardware company,
yes,
and they make fantastic hardware.
Yeah,
I'm not like a big Sony fan, but I appreciate that they're a hardware company and their tech is good. Right?
Sure.
And then Microsoft, I think, is a software company. And those are their strengths. I don't know if this is, it's my opinion, but I don't think I'm too far off the mark here.
No, for sure.
And Nintendo is like a game company, and then they have to kind of like bootstrap some like tech and software onto being like, we want kind of fun game experiences.
Right.
I think people want 3D, so let's kind of do that. And then they do it, and they're like, I don't think we thought this all the way through. Let's put out a 2DS. Because kids are going blind.
Yeah,
I don't know.
True. I mean, the
parents might think their kids are going blind.
Well, the last generation. That's so funny.
Super Scope. That's what that thing was called.
Oh, right.
Yes.
The purple button. The last generation where the playing field was equal was the PS2, Xbox, and GameCube. Where like GameCube stuff looked better than PS2.
Yeah, but it was newer, wasn't it? It was
new. It was like a year
PS2,
later.
Yeah.
But like that was still part of that same generation.
Yeah.
You were getting multi-platform games on all three consoles, and it was just like, buy the one you want. And you were getting exclusives.
I remember that as a time of like more exclusives.
Definitely, like Eternal Darkness and stuff like that. You were getting those exclusives, but the multi-platform stuff that has stopped, where now it's just PC, Xbox, and PlayStation.
Yes.
Nintendo has done it to themselves and made themselves a different platform altogether now.
For better or worse. I think that's the weird thing about the Wii, and I don't want to go too long on this, but that's the weird thing about the Wii was there was a huge novelty factor, right? And they split off from the pack and were like, we're going to make this extremely user-friendly. And this is not like we're going to do motion controls and we're all in. Go buy grandma a Wii.
Right.
And they did.
Yeah.
And then nobody bought software.
And that was it.
And nobody wanted to buy a Wii U because they were like, grandma doesn't need a Wii U.
Not to mention, no one really knew what it was. They're like, wait,
the Wii U.
Is this like
it was very
a sequel
confusing.
or is this an add-on?
Yeah, that was very, very
silly.
Bad decision on their part. But, I think they did that and they made their money on the Wii and then they kind of dug a hole for the Wii U. Now they need to get out of it. And I still think they are, like I said 4 hours ago, when they hit, they make some of the best games out there.
Yeah.
Unbeatable.
Sure.
But they have a lot in between.
Definitely. And that's how we do it. That we bring it all full circle there.
Yeah.
Excellent stuff, man.
Thanks for having me.
This has been a goddamn pleasure. Follow Vinny on Twitter at Vinny Caravella, and then go to giantbomb.com and watch all of the movie magic making.
Yeah, and if you're lucky, you'll hear some more 404 while you're listening to us do our stuff over there.
It's called Synergy.
It's
Vinny.
Synergy. We're knocking down walls, baby, even though the walls are right there.
866-404-CNET is our phone number. I did listen to the voicemails this week, so don't think I'm not listening. I just don't like to always play everything.
Oh, you have voicemails
too? We
too?
do a voicemail element to the show. And then check out the subreddit, reddit.com/r/the404. Follow us at the 404 on Twitter and Instagram, and check out the Facebook page. That's it for us. Until next time, I'm Jeff Bacalar.
And I'm Vinny Caravella.
Vinny Caravella. I love it. We'll see you guys next week. Have a good one.